Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers, Game Director on Path of Exile 2, and welcome to GGG Live. We have a huge amount of stuff to share today, so it's going to be a good one. Twitch drops are enabled on today's live stream, so you'll be able to claim the Red Queen's font hideout decoration by following the instructions below. Okay, so with that out of the way, time to roll the trailer for Path of Exile 2, Return of the Ancients.
Those in darkness once lay dormant, now return.
Oh.
We who came before rise again. Behold, the first edict.
Oh. What? Did I just see a wand? Oh no. Ritual rework, okay. Did I just see Mage Blood? That was Mage Blood at the top. So it was real. New Ritual Pinnacle boss, ooh. Oh no! No, they added it into PoE 2. What the fuck was that Genesis tree? Yeah, that was a lot bigger than ours in PoE 1. Ooh, new Delirium Pinnacle boss? Mage Blood confirmed. Hey. Yeah, that's the thing we saw. Foretold Bounty. Ooh. Okay.
Look like it's your last.
Continue the search. See what you can find.
Atlas classes. Wait, what? Atlas abysses. Okay. Ooh.
Now see how your story ends.
Bro, some of these bosses look insane. Okay, recombining? Martial Artist Ascendancy? Whoa. Hey, are we cultivating now? Hey, yo, Fez, there's your, totally not Cyclone, but, you know. Wow.
Face us is to face
PoE 2 actually saved? That honestly looked really good. May 29th.
So as you can see, there's just so much going on in Return of the Ancients, it's hard for even us to keep track of it all. Now, we promised that this one was going to revamp the endgame, and I'm very excited to talk about it. But first, we've got to talk about the League. So to do that, I'm going to hand things over to Mark.
Holy shit.
Hi,
15
I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director
Pinnacle
on
bosses.
Path of Exile. Now, for those of you who are new to Path of Exile, each time we release an update, we also release a new league. Not only do we have a new economy, but we also introduce new content through the campaign which gives you a fresh play experience right from the start of the game, as well as new mechanics, storylines, and in-game bosses. In the Runes of Eldur League, you will encounter a man being attacked by the undead in Clearfell. After saving him, he introduces himself as Pharaoh, a young blacksmith trying to bring back the ancient art of Ezomite runesmithing. He has been collating his discoveries in a tome and is keen to show you how runesmithing works. By inscribing symbols on these ancient Ezomite remnants, you can create all manner of old magics. Unfortunately, on doing so, the corpses of the nearby undead are revived and infused with some of the latent power, making for a difficult fight.
It's the Expedition ore ship.
After defeating these monsters, Pharaoh realizes that runesmithing is a dangerous business, and he is going to need the help of someone a little more martially inclined to discover these secrets. He lends you his tome and asks that you note down anything you discover when you return to him.
So it's
in
like
each area in the Runes of Eldur League, you will find a remnant. And as you approach it, you will notice that some symbols are already present, and some are waiting for you to fill them in. Depending on which symbols are already present, you will have different options for which items you can create using this magic. For example, if you combine Tempest
Arch Nemesis type of shit? Yeah,
and
kind of.
lightning,
Yeah.
you can create an Orb of Augmentation.
That looks rippy as fuck. That early in the game.
But be careful. The symbols used to craft the items also
Wow,
empower
a
the
full
monsters
orb of
around the remnant,
augmentation?
who will be revived as
Insane.
undead to fight again
Insane
with
loot.
different properties depending on what runes you used. So, if you use a fire rune in your recipe, the monsters will be empowered with fire.
Wow.
Or if you use a moon rune, lunar beams will rain down as you fight the monsters.
Oh god, I wish I could pause. Did you see how fucking slow that attack was? Ooh.
After the fight, break the remnant to receive the item you crafted.
H Verisium.
As you get higher level, you will start to find remnants with more slots for more runes, allowing
Is it
you
just
to craft
bestiary?
rarer items.
Oh,
As the number
apparently
of
it
slots
is.
increases though,
Venomous?
more waves of monsters will be added,
Oh, Echo.
with each wave being empowered by more and more of the runes.
Maybe disable that.
And this can get pretty dicey, because some of the runes can have powerful effects.
Oh, Echo.
Like the Oath rune, which will cause one monster to be nominated as a leader, spawning waves of minions. The leader itself will be invincible, but killing its minions will deal damage to it.
It's that's cringe. Wow, greater chaos.
Some recipes can
orb.
get pretty large, requiring
baby.
6, 7, or even 8 runes.
Astrid's creativity.
But don't worry, you won't have to remember them. Pharaoh's runecrafting book will record all the options, allowing you to simply pick which one you want to craft, given the existing runes that are already on the remnant.
Yeah, Londa is right. It is bestiary.
To expand your knowledge and to allow you to
Plus
craft more
metamorph.
items, Pharaoh has asked that you keep an eye out for signs of runic magic around Rayclast. He wants to document anything you find in order to rediscover the secrets of Ezomite runesmiths of old.
Mark to the joke? Oh no.
The first of these can be found in Ogham, and reveals to you an ancient secret, buried deep underground.
What am I missing? As I pet kitty
The runic magic which the Ezomites believe to be their own is actually of Kalguran origin. Thousands of years ago, the Kalgurans came to Rayclast to find sources of Verisium. a metal on which engraved runes allow control over reality.
Oh.
Pharaoh is determined to learn these ancient ways and gain mastery over them. If you can bring him more Verisium, he will be able to use it to smith power into any armor, granting you Runic Ward, the power harnessed by the Kalgurans since ancient times.
Runic Ward.
Runic Ward is a new resource that protects you from death. Should you run out of life, your Runic Ward will kick in, sustaining your body until your life can return. It effectively acts as an extra life pool. Of course, should you take enough damage to run out of that, you will still die.
What?
Every single piece of armor in the game can be upgraded this way. Even uniques.
Okay, so Runic
Some
Ward
are just a strict
is going
upgrade,
to
giving
need-
Runic Ward with no downside.
to be on everything.
Others are more extreme, sacrificing defenses to get a much larger amount of Runic Ward.
Wow. Okay, what the fuck?
There are even some that add new modifiers to
ES
uniques
plus ward
entirely,
stacking?
making them
Probably.
much more viable for higher level play.
They do everything
But
except adding
the
life on
Kalgurans
the
use
tree.
Runic Ward for more than just a defense. It can
True.
also be used to power many other magics. Instead of using gems created from corruption,
I'm
the
sure.
Kalgurans used runes of power and fueled them with Runic Ward. Many of the options available from Remnant crafting are new types of Kalguran skills that exclusively spend Runic Ward to wreak havoc. An example is Triskelion Cascade. Using it will cause your next spell to be triggered multiple times in a Triskelion pattern. You can use it with skills like Ice Nova that you cast from yourself, or with something you target at a distance, like Comet. There are also skills to modify existing effects using runic magic, like Frost Flame Nova.
We got Transgem
Using this
boys.
skill on a pack of burning enemies
Yeah.
will transform the Ignite into Frostfire, both burning them and building up freeze at the same time.
What the fuck?
You have basic buffs like Hollow Shell that guards all nearby allies, to more complicated mechanics like the Mark of Repulsion that creates a mark capable of pushing away all nearby enemies. Instead of spending mana,
But why?
like skill gems do, all these skills cost Runic Ward, and unlike gems, they don't have a color. This means that they don't care about attribute requirements, or what kind of weapon you use. These skills are designed to be used on any class, and so often interact with mechanics that apply across many characters.
It looks cool.
By combining different runes together, the
But is it
Kalgurans
good?
were able to support their runic abilities, and you can as well. There is also a set of runic supports that can be combined with regular skill gems in interesting ways.
Oh, wow.
Concussive Runes allows you to add these concussive shockwaves to any skill that stuns. While Runic Infusion lets you spend ward to directly empower the damage on any skill. Now, there are other quests during the campaign too that unlock even more interesting crafting methods. Buried deep in the jungle in Act 3, you can find the Mystic Refuge, containing even more secrets for Pharaoh to learn from. Using this knowledge, he gains the ability to reforge unique weapons. With this technique, many low-level unique weapons can be upgraded to do significantly more damage.
Oh.
Now, we've been able to take a bunch of uniques that had interesting modifiers, but were not in-game viable, and give them a bit of a boost to get there.
Okay.
And it's not just low-level uniques.
But it's
All
still-
Kalguran uniques are able to be runeforged this way too, and they can do some pretty interesting things.
Oh.
Like Searle's Grit, a new unique, which when runeforged can get one of several different outcomes.
Oh.
Now, there is still so
Hey,
much
Raining,
more that you can
Olive.
craft with remnants. There are
You doing well,
also
man?
100 new runes, as well as many other new crafting
Path of
currencies.
Exile.
This is the runes of
127K
Elder after all,
viewers,
and some
Aspen
of these
Gold,
runes have quite powerful
41K.
effects.
Yeah, damn.
For example, this elemental
streaming
conversion
review.
rune will convert all the existing
Doing
mods
good?
on a non-unique
Nice.
weapon from one element to another.
Wow, what?
Using it, you could combine a weapon with all 3 elemental damage mods into a single element, making a weapon with massive amounts of cold damage.
Wow. Wait, what?
There is also a rune that lets you destroy your rune
That
sockets
is
to turn them into a
insane.
dual socket on your item. And there are even crafting meta runes that can unlock new types of mods when used with regular crafting. For example, this
that
rune of
boosting the rune
chronomancy will
Or is that
unlock a
always
set
plus
of time-related mods to be crafted on your boots. Once placed inside, use regular crafting orbs to attempt to get new mods like cooldown speed or increased skill effectuation. You can also create a new type of currency called alloys. Using regular metals alloyed with verisium, new modifiers not normally available can be directly crafted onto your items. Using imbued alloy could improve your ailment damage, for example. There are honestly so many options here that unlock all sorts of crazy crafting projects. So I think people will be experimenting with these for a long time.
Okay.
Once you get to King's March in Act 4, Pharaoh finally meets Danig, a real Kalguran runesmith. And riddled with excitement, he wants to learn how to merge modern Kalguran techniques with
AKA
the
2
ancient
weeks
knowledge that he
tops.
has found. From here on, Pharaoh
Hey.
joins in the
that's
Kalguran
1 week
expeditions
more
that
than
Danig
normal.
has been leading. With the ancient knowledge that Pharaoh brings to the table, the
100%
Kalguran
increase.
expeditions that Danig has been going on will change significantly. For those of you who haven't played it, the Expedition League mechanic involves carefully placing explosives, uncovering the buried dead, and recovering verisium from them.
Wow.
By choosing where to place the explosives, you can choose which kind of challenges you would like to face, or rewards you would like to claim. But unlike before, expeditions now contain the remnants from Runes of Eldur, allowing you to do some specific crafts along the way using the new League crafting mechanic.
It's the fucking... Oh no.
One very important difference from the simple remnant encounters, though, is that the empowerments that the remnants grant apply to every monster down the explosive line for the rest of the encounter, stacking together.
It's the rest of...
This can lead to some pretty extreme situations.
It's corpse crafting.
If you stack too many remnants, you
But with
might be in for a
expedition.
fight beyond your abilities. But the rewards can be very worth it.
With battle.
Each mod on the monster is improving the items that they can drop. Once you get to the endgame, you will find that the Atlas has changed substantially.
Oh my god.
To the south, you will now find the coastline of Rayclast, with the ocean beyond. King's March has not fared well after the Cataclysm, and lays in ruins.
Oh shit.
Rog's
oh,
shop has been
no.
destroyed, but he is much more concerned about his wife, Gwennon. He would like to launch an expedition deep into the ocean to find her.
Oh,
And this
our boy
begins a
Rog
new major mechanic
rizzed
for
up
expedition,
Gwennon.
exploring the ocean.
Holy shit.
Previously, a logbook was a single encounter. Now, using a logbook, you can send ships to explore an area
Rog
of the
with the
ocean to the
hog.
southeast, uncovering a range of islands to begin your search for Gwennon. You can hop from island to island, doing many new encounters.
I
There
guess
are
this means
islands
the
with
shit ass mapping will
expeditions,
never go away. Probably
grand expeditions, new bosses, and all sorts of other unique things to find.
not. He got big dick. I mean, look at the way he
Eventually,
walks.
you will find
He
the
has to
island that
walk like
Gwennon has
that.
been holed up on. It turns out that she has found the tomb of an ancient Kalguran, Medved. While she
Medved.
appreciates you coming to her rescue, she is still keen to blow open the doors of the vault and take whatever you can find inside. It's just a shame that Medved isn't as dead as you previously assumed.
Oh wow, it's the guy we fought before, XDD.
Now, after you have defeated Medved, you will find another logbook. And this time, you can use it to choose which direction
I'm
you
sorry to
want to
inform
explore.
you, but your wife has my
The
belt and I
ocean
need
is
to beg.
vast
True.
and contains a huge number of new islands to find.
On yeah.
With each logbook, you can explore one sector and you can go as deep as you like. There are all sorts of interesting objects to uncover and dungeons to explore. Many of the islands have expeditions with totally new mechanics. So for example, here is a volcanic island with voltaxic sulfite. Blowing up the sulfite will unleash extra waves of enemies. But there is also this wall with a suspicious light coming from behind it. On blowing it open, a giant ogre comes out, and he is determined to eat as much sulfite as possible. The more sulfite mounds that you have blown up, the more empowered and the more rewarding he will become.
Huh. Okay.
These islands contain all sorts of little secrets that you can
It was
find
fair.
and blow up. Free trapped wisps,
Wisps do fuck all.
blow open root doors, even raise ancient precursor technology.
Oh,
And of course, more bosses.
become.
There are more and further vaults to blow up, and one of them in particular is pretty important. The Tomb
mine.
of Uhtred, the Star
Oh.
Drinker.
The Star Drinker. Holy. That's a cool
Uhtred
name.
was
the
responsible
Star
for calling
Drinker.
down the meteors of Verisium, which the Kalgurans used to power their ancient magic. And upon defeating him, he calls down a truly gigantic one into the ocean nearby.
That actually looks really fucking
On
cool.
visiting it, you find that it is shrouded by a strange energy emanating from the Verisium core of the meteor within.
Wait.
There is something growing in there, and it can't be anything good.
Wait.
In order to gain entry, Danik suggests that the Triskelion Flame,
We saw that
an
animation
ancient
somewhere
Kalguran
before.
artifact
Really?
that can
Have we?
absorb and cancel the effects of Verisium magic, could be used to enter. But to find it, you will need to locate the Tomb of Olroth, leader of the Knights of the Sun.
Olroth.
Defeat him and gain access to whatever eldritch nightmare is growing inside.
You remember it vividly? Or I'm schizo.
Now, we're not going to spoil the boss, but one thing you should know is that the Verisium that makes up the core of the meteor is of a quality that has not been available for millennia. Bringing this to Pharaoh and Danig should allow them to forge some objects of power, the creation of which has been lost to time. So that's the League, and there is a lot going on. To sum all that up, there is a new encounter with over 30 new monster types and over 30 new rune modifiers to enhance them. You can create more than 100 new runes to craft your gear, as well as dozens of other new currency items. And there are new quests
Ooh.
added to the campaign to unlock even more new crafting options.
Wait, 50% chance to
Rune-forging armors.
surpass arrow limit?
Upgrading uniques, dozens of new Kalguran skills and supports, tons of new islands to discover by exploring the ocean, 5 new bosses,
Sounds good.
including
Can't
a new
wait for
pinnacle
PoE 1
boss,
reveal.
and a bunch of new uniques to top it off.
Uh-oh.
But there is still a ton more to come. It's time to talk about the
He has
massive
new
changes
shoes
to the
on.
end game. But for that, I'll hand it
Oh
back to
my
Jonathan.
god.
Now, as Mark hinted at before, the endgame atlas is very different now, and the ocean to the south is the least of the changes. The entire area around your
Fuck,
starting
you
location
said.
is now teeming with new quest lines
Oh,
and
fuck,
things to
spider
discover.
again.
Will you investigate the strange forest to
Technically,
the
that
west,
was a
the
scorpion.
cracks in the earth to the east, or perhaps visit the ruins of a vile city in the north?
Nah.
The
no
atlas
one's
now
going
has
north.
fixed points of interest at specific locations, giving you specific objectives that are easy to find. Like before though, no matter which objective you choose, going to towers to see what's out there is always a good idea. The first time you do that though, something new happens.
Towers.
The earth shakes, and a gigantic fortress rises from the earth,
Oh no.
a remnant
could
of the
this
ancient
happen?
precursor civilization.
Fuck your towers. Oh.
The cataclysm of the beast has caused an ancient protocol to be invoked. Should corruption ever take hold to this degree, the world must be scoured and purged of corruption. You will need to make your way into the fortress and activate the gates. Gain the keys to reach these ancient precursor weapons and disarm them. But this will be no easy task. The fortress has many areas to explore and many new things to find. You will power up ancient machines,
Those guys are just having fun on a roller coaster.
Fight new and
Why
deadly
stop them?
foes. Discover many new areas. And uncover some dark
AoE.
secrets. Now, the Fortress is the first of the new full in-game storylines that we're adding in 050, and there's a lot going on with it. But not only that, it has some pretty cool new mechanics as well. The areas inside the Fortress are special. Many of them have new mechanics or rewards that they grant. Like this map, where all the rares are contained in essence crystals.
No cyclone yet? Yep, not yet. All we see is this
Or
fucking
this one,
mace attack.
which replaces
Oh my
all
God.
monster packs in the area with strongboxes.
Oh wow. How original.
Or this one, which spawns in as Mary Spirit that always moves on from a rare after you kill it, allowing you to chase it through the entire map.
Ah, these spirits do fuck all. They don't do anything. Every time you imbue something with a spirit, it gives no loot, it just makes them harder, and it does nothing.
Now, just like the normal areas of the Atlas, you'll need to
Aside
fight the
from just
map
making
boss
it
of each
harder.
area to complete the map. But unlike a normal map, the ones in the Fortress each contain precursor nodes after the
Hey.
boss, and activating these nodes will give you points for the new and improved Atlas passive tree.
That was a totally cyclone, right?
Now, we had an Atlas passive tree before, but it was one of the areas of
Fake
the endgame that just
cyclones.
wasn't up to scratch. The Atlas tree now works quite a lot differently. We have significantly upgraded the kind of mechanics that you can find on the Atlas tree.
Okay.
Like this one, that gives a chance to make rogue exiles you fight retreat from combat
What?
and move to an adjacent map. Before you fight them again, they'll upgrade their gear and come back with a grudge this time.
Oh.
There are also a lot of
Okay.
nodes that combine mechanics together in new ways. Like this
That
one,
could be
which lets
good.
Ismeri spirits possess strongboxes. All the regular monsters that come out of them are touched by the spirit, and the rares are all possessed, giving you some incredible loot potential. You get points from every single area you complete in the Fortress.
Dog
and
shit
unlike
loot.
before, that means you can allocate the entire Atlas tree. Yes,
What?
this whole tree can be yours. This change is pretty important, since it allows us to be able to create many types of bonuses that we wouldn't have been able to create before.
Wait.
Like this one, which gives a chance for cities to be invaded by another faction, and can even allow it to contain 2 faction leaders, allowing you to get 2 crisis fragments. If we'd done this kind of thing on the old tree,
Dick and
we'd have wanted to
balls
spec
on
into
the
it before
tree.
running a city map, then unspec out of it before running anything else. With full allocation, we can have cool bonuses like these. Now, obviously, we still want to make sure that you have choices that define your in-game Atlas build.
Wait, he said...
So many nodes in the Atlas tree are now multi-choice. Everyone will get the node, but which bonus you choose to use is up to you. Do you want your powerful boss maps to contain more essences, summoning circles, or rogue exiles? But there's also nodes that contain more unusual things. So for example, on this node you can choose. Do you want to give a chance for shrines to instead be given to the map boss in the area, making them more challenging but dropping special loot? Or would you rather give a chance to be given a shrine buff before entering boss arenas, making for an easier fight?
That's pretty cool.
Now, I could probably nerd out about cool stuff in the tree all day, but we should probably get back to the
Just
Fortress.
make one of the islands that spawn
Now,
in logbooks
one of
look
the
like
really important things
S-teams.
we wanted to do was make it
When
so
we
that
go
all the
there
boss
and
fights
get
in the endgame
arrested.
are now
What the
accessible with a
fuck?
quest line.
Bruh.
That means that to fight the Arbiter of Ash for the first
Only
time,
if shrines
you
are
don't need to get
powerful.
lucky by finding keys. They will be in fixed locations and there's a quest to get them. But the Arbiter of Ash is no longer the pinnacle of Path of Exile 2. For that,
Okay.
you'll need to travel into the very center of the fortress. An incredible challenge awaits you should you choose to go there. After the storyline, you still unlock keys for pinnacle bosses in the usual way, exploring the world and finding the keys required to get to them. But we have added a lot more interesting things to find out there as well. There are now all sorts of mechanics that can spawn on maps in the wilderness. For example, some maps might spawn as a rogue exile hunting ground, containing multiple rogue exiles who are there to hunt rare beasts. You might come upon them in the middle of a fight and be able to take out both of them. Or a map of champions that makes all the natural inhabitants of the area into magic monsters. Or this one that causes all shrines in the area to release as merry spirits when used.
I don't care about us merry spirits, they're trash.
Once you have explored and found your keys, you can return to fight the pinnacle in the fortress again. But this version of him will be harder. And not only that, he will have new unique rewards as well. Each time you fight him, you get the ability to activate one section of the fortress, and any maps that you didn't finish there will be automatically completed, giving you all the Atlas points. So if you're the type of player who doesn't want to explore the fortress, and instead just race out into the infinite Atlas, you still have a way to get all those points. So that's the Origins of Divinity storyline.
Wait,
It's
so
a
you can
huge
get
amount of new
every
content, with
single
a ton of new
point
areas,
on the
5
tree.
new bosses, including a pinnacle, with a bunch of new unique items. But not only that, it also completely revamps the Atlas tree, and includes a ton of new map mechanics that you can find both inside and outside the fortress. But this is just one of the new storylines. So let's talk about the next one now, Masters of the Atlas. Now earlier we talked about how the multi-choice nodes in the tree allow you to still have an in-game Atlas build, but we didn't think that was quite enough. You have an Ascendancy class for your passive tree. Why not an Ascendancy class for your Atlas tree? Well, that's where the Masters of the Atlas come in. Throughout Rayclast are many opportunities for those with the skills to find them. Atlas Masters are willing to train you in these skills if you're able to help them in return.
So funny.
One such master is Jado, a member of the Order of the Jinn, an organization that secures powerful artifacts to prevent them from falling into the wrong hands. Jado will send you on missions to investigate strange occurrences on the Atlas and recover the artifacts causing them. And for each one you recover, he will gain more trust in you and teach you more ways of the Order of the Jinn. At level 1, you could choose to massively increase the chance for rare and unique chests, or make it so that all map bosses drop an additional unique item,
Wait, that's a good one.
or make corrupted waystones have an additional modifier,
Jado will be playing Killer
but at the cost
Instinct.
of making them send you to a totally unknown location.
Oh.
Each mission you complete for Jado will unlock another row of abilities, and give you another point to allocate, letting you choose how you want to specialize.
Huh.
But there are other masters too. For example, Hilda. Hilda is a member of a guild of monster hunters. She will send you on missions to assassinate specific deadly creatures around Rayclast and harvest
It's
their
Slayer.
parts. In exchange, she will teach you her monster hunting skills, like this one, which adds a 25% chance to upgrade any map boss to a powerful version. Or this one, which makes Marian spirits no longer possess rare monsters, making them go for the unique bosses in the area instead. You might notice that many of the effects on these are both upsides and downsides. So Hilda, for example, can make it so that you only get one attempt when fighting pinnacle bosses, but in exchange for that, they always drop 2 uniques. Because of that, we wanted it to be easy to swap between them depending on what you're doing. As
That's
you
actually
unlock
pretty
each
cool.
master, they will appear on the side of the screen. Simply click whichever one you want to use to run the map, and all the bonuses you have selected for that master will be activated.
Wow.
This allows you
That's
to have a
nice.
few different strategies that you can quickly pick between, depending on what you're running at the moment.
Wow, is Path of
Now,
Exile
one
2
thing that's
actually
been pretty
saved?
obvious is that the
What
in-game
hell?
leagues we created when launching Early Access in 010 were not really up to the standard of the leagues we did since then. Fate of the Vaal and Rise of the Abyssal just have a lot more going on than Delirium or
Not
Expedition,
yet.
for example. We wanted to do a serious upgrade to all these
Still no
mechanics before we do our
Cyclones.
1.0 release, and so that's what we've done. All 4 of the leagues we launched in
way.
Early Access have been upgraded with not only new
No way,
quest lines,
dude.
but new mechanics, new crafting systems, new uniques, and new pinnacle bosses. One of the really important changes we made to all the leagues is that you can now find them on the Atlas in specific locations, and each one has a quest line that will lead you there to being able to complete the league, along with its Atlas tree and its pinnacle boss. This is true even for the leagues that we didn't do major redesigns to. So let's use Abyss as an example. When you first encounter one in the endgame, you'll get a quest that leads you to the east, where you will find these mega abyss cracks in the earth leading away from the Well of Souls. All the maps along the cracks will contain abysses with special properties, and mapping along these cracks will close the Atlas scale abysses, giving you points for the Abyss Atlas tree. At the end of each Atlas abyss, you'll find an Abyssal Depths with the boss fight for one of the Abyssal factions, giving you a guaranteed way to fight them. And after completing all 3, you'll get a key for the Well of Souls, allowing you to fight the Vessel of Kulamak. This kind of thing makes an in-game league so
Kulamak.
much more friendly for new players, giving people obvious goals and a guided experience to complete them. Alright,
Wow.
so let's talk about the first of the upgraded leagues, Delirium, and its new storyline, The Hare and the Raven. As you may remember, during Act 4 you were tricked into releasing an ancient entity from a Karui prison known as Tangmazu, the Raven Trickster. Tangmazu delights in breaking the minds of those who step through his mirrors, and when touching one, he will attempt to destroy your mind with twisted abominations generated from your worst fears.
Oh no.
In Return of the Ancients, the first time you approach one of his delirium encounters in the endgame, you will find Elder Maddox locked in a trance. His mind is trapped in one of Tangmazu's delusions, and you will need to free him.
Oh no, big
Once
titty
free,
goth
Elder Maddox
girls.
demands that as you caused this problem, you should put it right. He asks you to travel west to the Withered Willow, the location he believes that Tangmazu first gained his powers. But be careful. As you travel there, the Raven Trickster will attempt to break your mind. Each map around the Withered Willow features delirium encounters. Now this
fear
is more
them.
than a simple quest upgrade. The mechanic of delirium has been overhauled and expanded. At the bottom of the screen, there is now a bar that indicates how deep into delirium you are. You can see which direction leads deeper by looking at the fog, and the deeper you go, the more challenges you will face. By looking at the bar, you can see how long you have until the delirium ends. And you can also see special encounters that you will face if you're able to go deep enough into the fog. At the end of the bar is always the boss of the map, but we now have a variety of other encounters that you might find as you explore the horrors of your own mind. For example, you might encounter a purple mirror shard that when shattered will cause all the enemies to become more nightmarish. After hitting this, you'll notice the delirium demons are enhanced, significantly more powerful, larger, and scarier in general, along with more rewards.
Whoa.
Or should you encounter a red mirror shard, you'll be sent into the depths of your mind.
The depths of your mind. Oh no, it's only
You must
tentacle
escape it
hentai
while
in there.
fighting off hordes
Oh.
of your worst fears. If you are able to do so, you will gain a powerful amulet with 2 instilled notables on it.
Huh.
Once you reach the Withered Willow, Elder Maddox discovers that a shard of the mirror is missing. You will need to track down Tangmazu and restore it if you have a hope of discovering how to defeat him, and that means entering the Raven Trickster's mirrors in an attempt to locate him. Each area around the Withered Willow contains delirium encounters, so that's a good place to start. As you do deliriums, some of the special encounters will drop liquid emotions. Normally these emotions can be used to install amulets to add notable passive buffs to them, but in Return of the Ancients, emotions have a new function as well. Each one now has the ability to add crafted mods to jewels, allowing you to add specific mods to an item slot that can be quite difficult to roll.
What
For
the
example,
fuck?
Liquid Despair will allow you to add critical hit chance, while Liquid Suffering will allow you to add movement speed or air of effect to your jewels. But there are many more.
What?
Once you've done enough delirium encounters, the
Shitty.
location of a grand mirror,
Uh-oh.
an entrance into Tangmazu's realm is
Not
revealed.
good.
But it won't be that simple to enter. Using his powers, he reflects the map boss for a ridiculous empowered fight, then destroys the entrance into his realm of madness.
Huh.
In order to find him now, you'll need to let the insanity fully into your mind. A strange fruit is left behind which you can consume to fully embrace the madness in an attempt to reach the Raven Trickster's realm.
Consume.
Consuming the fruit will cover an entire area of
You
the Atlas
broke
and
your
fog,
sleep schedule
and every map you
again.
do in the fog will
Uh-oh.
get progressively harder and harder as you explore the
good.
deeper reaches of your mind. At some point you enter a new layer. A simulacrum of your memories, twisted and perverted by the Raven Trickster. Should you be able to complete the simulacrum, Tangmazu will believe that you are worthy of a true challenge, and will let you take the remaining shard of his mirror, allowing you to enter his realm of madness back at the Withered Willow. If you dare to face him, it will be a fearsome challenge.
What the fuck?
So,
Bro.
that's the new storyline of Delirium. As you can see, it's not only a quest line, there are new mechanics, new crafting options, and new boss fights. But one question you might have is, what happens after? Well, once you've completed the story, grand mirrors will start appearing on the Atlas
He's
sometimes
big.
after completing Delirium encounters. After doing the grand mirror, you can select where on the Atlas you want to do your fruit-induced drug trip and get another key to fight Tangmazu. But this time, the fight will be quite a bit
Drugs.
harder. And not only
Uh-oh.
that, the fight will be able to drop a bunch of new uniques that were not available in the questline version. We'll show some of those later. After doing a grand mirror, the decision of where to spread the fog can be important, because there are some potent emotions that only come from certain map bosses affected by Delirium this way.
Oh.
Like all emotions, they can craft special mods onto jewels, but these potent emotions can create mods that you can't get any other way. So for example, Potent liquid melancholy is an emotion that can only come from human bosses, and allows you to add a variety of on-hit effects.
Oh.
Also, you might want to try instilling amulets with these emotions. They could have some interesting effects, with some powerful notables that do not normally exist on the tree. Like Storm's Rebuke, which makes armor break boost your cold and lightning damage. But also notables from a clearly
80% stun
deranged
recovery.
mind, like Calm's Blessing. This skill allows you to ancestrally boost fire spells after using a Warcry. How about using an
that's
Ancestral Flame Blast?
interesting.
Now, just like before, you can also upgrade the League by getting points for a dedicated Delirium Atlas tree. But this now works in a much better way and has much cooler effects. The maps in the Delirium area of the Atlas give you Delirium passive points for completing them, so it's easy to see how to progress.
Okay.
Some nodes will add new types of mirror shard encounters to your Deliriums. Like this one, which will pause the Delirium for some amount of time, allowing you to more easily get to higher depths. Or this one, which adds extra Delirium modifiers to monsters when you pick it up. There are also nodes that can add new types of drops, like this one, which modifies Simulacrum encounters to add special liquid emotions, which can craft time-lost jewels. And nodes that apply to the Atlas mechanics of the League, like this one, which causes the Grand Mirror to spread Delirium fog over a larger area of the Atlas, potentially containing multiple Simulacrums. Alright, so that's the changes to Delirium. The core mechanic now includes a bunch of new things to find, new monsters to kill, and has new mechanics on the Atlas. It also has a new crafting system for jewels, and over 20 new unlockable notables for amulets. Not only that,
Banking action,
but you have a new
that's
pinnacle
right.
boss with a bunch of new unique items, and a massively upgraded Atlas tree just for Delirium.
Please don't tell me there's Q&A.
But there's still a lot more to come,
With that
so let's
ass
talk about
liquor
Breach
again.
next.
Man has a
When you
brown
first do a
nose.
breach in the endgame, you'll find Aleph,
Are you talking about
one of the
Ziggy D?
Keepers of the Flame, an ancient order of monks dedicated to preventing the Hiveborn from entering the world. As you seem to be a keen slayer of demons,
Not Ziggy.
Aleph would like to
Oh.
recruit you to the order and asks that you
Are you
travel to
talking
their monastery
about
to the south.
what's his face?
On the way there, you'll start to encounter more breaches, and
Oh,
you'll notice one of the
what was
first
his name
changes to the
again?
breach mechanic. You still have to kill
Talkative
monsters as fast
Try.
as you can to keep the breach open, but now you can visibly see how much time you have left to keep it open, and how each kill extends its duration.
Wow, this is so new,
Once
guys.
you've reached the monastery, you will learn more about the Keepers.
That pleb.
In the 25 years since
I
the events of
wonder.
Keepers of the Flame in Path of Exile 1, the war with the Hiveborn has not gone well, and they have managed to establish a foothold in the world nearby. A gigantic area has fallen to the Scourge, and the Keepers are unable to get inside. Inside the monastery is the Genesis Tree, a powerful asset to the war effort, stolen from
Did he
the
say
enemy
25?
and gifted to the Keepers by the Dreamer himself.
Swords? Where?
Using the tree, Aleph could create a breachstone and penetrate the Hiveborn foothold, but without Hiveblood, the tree has withered. To get Hiveblood, you will need to take advantage of another new mechanic of breach. If you can keep the otherworldly portal open for long enough, the breach will stabilize and will enter a new phase. The Hiveborn will send their toughest miscreations to defeat you, and the breach will not close until you can annihilate them, dropping
this
Hiveblood
is so
that
new,
you can use
guys.
to restore the Genesis Tree.
Oh my.
In some cases, you may even attract one of the deadliest foes the Hiveborn can offer, a Marshal of Zesht.
Oh my god. A
These
brand new
monsters
boss
also
we've
drop
never
wound gifts,
seen before.
and if you take these to the Genesis Tree, they can be used to craft items to help you in the war against the
Mazaka.
Hiveborn. Given that 25 years have passed since the beginning of the war, the tree has grown and withered many times, but with each cycle it learns and expands its abilities. When you first open the Genesis Tree, you will notice these holes into which you can place your womb gifts.
Jesus Christ.
Each womb gift
look
can
at
be used to create a different type of jewelry and must be fertilized with Hiveblood. So for example,
Watch out,
you can place
mister.
this
He might
amulet womb
one-shot
gift
you
into the
again.
tree, and it will give birth to a random rare amulet. But the Genesis
that'll
tree
be
is capable of
fucked.
much more. As you continue to feed the tree, its branches will regenerate and allow you more and more control over what kind of items it will birth. So for example, this branch of the tree will allow you to control which base types of amulets can be birthed.
What? Bro,
And
that
as you
is
go
so
deeper,
much more in
it
depth.
will even allow you to create new base types that you can't get anywhere else.
Oh. A brand new base type?
Like this one, which gives you an entire spirit skill for free. Or this
Who
one,
cares
which
about
has
the
a rune
spirit
socket in it.
skill?
To the left and right are branches that will let you control which mods the amulet can get, including making sure that they're higher level, or controlling which specific mods that they will always have.
Why couldn't they have
With
tested
15
this on
points to
PoE2
allocate,
first and give
you
us
will have
this
to choose
version
wisely
instead?
how you want to specialize your crafts. But it's worth
It's
noting
the
that this
other way
tree doesn't
around
have any
now.
cost to respecking it. You can
Damn.
enable or disable the nodes at any time by clicking on them.
Oh my god,
On
incredible.
rings, we've also added some really interesting new crafting options as well. You have a bunch of new base types like these, but you also have entire new classes of mods that can be added. The right-hand branch of the ring tree adds an entire new set of caster mods to rings. From basics like extra elemental damage for spells, or more niche options like this mod that increases the rate you gain seals for Unleash.
Wow.
And on the left-hand
Interesting.
side, you can unlock an entire new set of mods for minion characters. This stuff is actually pretty important, because casters and minion builds didn't have as many slots with interesting item crafting compared to attack builds. The Genesis tree narrows that gap. There are also trees for belts and currency. I won't go over them too much here, but there are all sorts of goodies in these too, like being able to create new catalysts for jewels,
Oh.
or a belt that gives lightning damage.
Okay.
Once you've done enough breach encounters, you may finally get a womb gift capable of birthing a breach stone. And you can then use it on the Hiveborn incursion. Once used, the true extent of the Breach Demon's foothold becomes clear. They have not only transformed the land, but constructed huge sky hives as well. When you enter the outskirts of their
Sky
realm,
hives.
you will discover breach hives. Using the power of the Keepers of the Flame, these otherworldly structures can be burned away when walking through them. But for each one destroyed, more of the Hiveborn will attack when you attempt to purge the hive.
Okay, so we're gonna need giga movement speed.
These encounters are
always.
particularly rewarding for womb gifts, so you'll want to do as many of these as you can. But your real goal are the sky hives deeper into the domain. These twisted creations are securing the demon's entry into our world. Inside the very center are the Breach Lords Tool and Ash, and you will need to defeat them if you want to get rid of the foothold once and for all. Now, once you've completed the questline version, there is still more to do. You will find other breach domains on the Atlas randomly in your travels. For each one, you will need to find a breach stone, destroy the sky hives,
They gave the plebs a checkpoint for the breach
and
hive.
defeat the breach lords.
Yeah.
And doing these encounters is what will give you access to fight Zesht, the existing Breach Pinnacle boss, which you can access by communing with the Dreamer himself inside the monastery.
Ooh.
While completing the
cool
questline
now.
for
What the
Breach,
fuck?
you will also be gaining points for the Breach Atlas tree, and there are a lot of cool new options here. This node will cause breach hives to spawn outside of the Hiveborn domains on the Atlas. And this one will give Aelith additional abilities that you can use while attacking a hive.
Wow.
Like this one, which causes all Hiveborn in the next wave to be magic, drastically increasing their difficulty in exchange for way more items. There are also nodes that allow you to control your rewards, like this one, which adds a set of new lineage supports to the Marshal of Zesht,
God damn.
or this one, which lets you control which womb gifts you will get.
Skip the hive shit. Thank you, Jonathan. No. This is brand
There's
new
also some
content,
nodes that affect the
trust.
Genesis tree, like this one, which will cause Zesht to drop his head, which when returned to the Genesis tree, will grow a grasping orchid on the side of it. You'll have to experiment to find out what this thing is good for. Putting rings on its fingers seems to make it happy.
What?
So that's a rundown of what you can expect from the new Breach questline. There's a new
It says
stabilization mechanic for
Brum, not
breaches,
Zesht. Uh-oh.
hive
they fucked
encounters,
Thank you, Jonathan. Brand new spiders.
and Hiveborn incursions on the Atlas. But you also have a huge new crafting system and new bosses as well. Alright, so let's talk about the Rite of the Nameless storyline next. When you first complete a ritual in the endgame, Aoife, a lost spirit, will appear. She appears to need your help, but isn't able to communicate more than a few words, beckoning you to come to the Wildwood. Like the other leagues,
Come.
Ritual now has a place on
Boom.
the Atlas to call home.
Help.
The Wildwood could be found to the west. When you first arrive there, Aoife's spirit will guide you in, where you will discover that inside the Wildwood, spirits can take physical form. Aoife has been bound to this place by the King in the Mists, and requests that you free her. But in order to do so, you will need her body, currently in possession of the King. To reclaim it, you will need to gain an audience with him. Inside the Wildwood, there are many ritual encounters to complete. Like before, in each area, triggering rituals will resurrect the nearby bound monsters to attack you, and killing the monsters will give you tribute. In addition, each ritual you do in the area will add the monsters from the previous ritual, making the encounters much more challenging the more rituals you complete. Once you've completed them, spend your tribute to get items. Now, an important change to the rewards of ritual is that all the items in the reward window are now uniques or omens, making this league's rewards much more valuable than before.
Yo, that's pretty good.
In order to gain an audience with the Nameless King, you need to sacrifice tribute to him. Any remaining tribute you don't spend can be sacrificed this way to fill up this bar.
Hey, that's actually
Once
really
you have enough
good.
tribute for an audience, return to the Wildwood to divine his location with the Nameless Shrine. His location will be revealed deeper in the Wildwood, and you will need to make your way to him,
that's a really good change.
kill him, and get Aoife's body.
Ooh. Yoink.
Using her body, you can attempt to release her spirit, but this is when you learn about the true threat of the League. The Wildwood is built on top of an ancient prison. The King in the Mists didn't gain his power out of nowhere. He was granted it by an ancient being of darkness known as the Bodark, and the Nameless King's use of this power has been causing the prison to weaken. In order to prevent the Bodark from entering the world, a champion will need to enter its prison and beat him back, but those with a name are unable to survive there. In order to do so, you will need to transfer your name to another with a new mechanic in the Ritual League, the Rite of the Nameless. The rite will begin in a nearby forest. At first, it appears to be a regular ritual encounter, but that will soon change. The final ritual of the area will include the map boss.
Damn it, he didn't
And
get
defeating him
monkeyed.
will give you a piece of the effigy onto which you will transfer your name.
Look at that horseshit damage.
But the ritual is still not complete. Once the map boss is defeated, the atlas will open, and you will need to pick another adjacent map to continue the ritual. During the rite, each adjacent map will have different rewards to tempt you. So for example, if you go in this direction, you gain significantly more tribute. But if you go in this direction, the uniques in the reward window will turn into currency instead. You can also sometimes get offered specific items that will be added as rewards. So in this case, you'll have to choose if you want to get 5 Chaos Orbs or a Mage Blood. A difficult decision,
I
I'm
would
sure.
take the 5 Chaos Orbs.
Now, as this is one continuous ritual, the encounters in the next map won't start from scratch.
Who wouldn't?
They contain all the monsters that were gathered from the rituals of the previous map as well, making them harder and harder. And that includes the map boss too. You will need to defeat both map bosses in the final encounter for your next effigy piece.
Or Mage Blood is
And it
absolute
still
dog
doesn't end
water. That would be...
Pick another
that
map,
would be sad.
another reward,
5 C's better,
and
probably.
add another map boss to continue until the ritual of the Nameless is complete. It will take 5 maps in all, and will be an incredible challenge.
5 bosses, holy fuck. That's actually kind of insane.
But once complete, you can return to the Wildwood to perform the final rite.
5
Transfer
bosses
your
that will
name to
give
the
me
effigy,
5C.
adorn the crown of the Nameless King, and enter the prison. Now, of course, once the Pinnacle boss is complete, the League doesn't end there.
That's pretty cool.
As you do rituals on the Atlas, you can continue to give tribute to the King in the Mists for another audience. Pick another forest to begin the Rite of the Nameless once more, and this time with a harder Pinnacle boss and new unique items to find. Of course, we've also significantly upgraded the Ritual Atlas tree. Get points by completing maps in the Wildwood, and you'll be able to unlock some pretty cool nodes. Some of them affect the Rite of the Nameless, like this one, which extends its duration. You thought fighting 5 map bosses at once was hard? How about 6? Or this one, which makes maps during the Rite have more reward mods, often having 2. You also have nodes that allow things to combine with other content, like this one, which gives a chance for rituals to be created inside summoning circles, adding a random boss to the ritual encounter. There is even a node which adds a new type of possible ritual, the Audience with the Queen, which causes the Bride of the King to sometimes appear.
What?
Okay, so that's ritual.
But let's have a look at what this means for endgame content as a whole for Path of Exile 2.
When you include the expedition changes made by the League, we have a total of 5 new in-game storylines, each of which has a hub, crafting systems, areas to explore, NPCs, and a pinnacle boss as a capstone. Not to mention the Masters of the Atlas storyline as well. But more importantly, you now have immediate quests as soon as you arrive at the endgame, and goals with obvious progressions that you can see how to finish. Each in-game questline has a progress bar that you can pop out from the side of the Atlas screen at any time that shows you how far through you are, and buttons that will take you to the hubs for them. Overall, it's just a way better in-game experience with a significant number of fun objectives to complete. But just in case you didn't have enough goals, we did have one other thing that you might want to complete this league. These are called challenge leagues after all. Where are all the challenges? Well, players of Path of Exile 1 will be used to the fact that each league comes with a series of challenges that you can complete in order to prove that you are indeed the best. We haven't done these yet in Path of Exile 2, but it's time to change that. If you're able to complete them, you'll earn pieces of the Knight of Alder armor set. Opening the challenge screen will show you a series of 8 challenges. After completing each one, anyone in chat or in the forums will be able to see your prowess. In addition, you'll get a statue to put in your hideout showing anyone you trade with how many challenges you've completed. You'll earn the first piece of the armor set after doing 2 challenges,
you have to play
and the
it.
full armor set after completing all 8.
Honestly,
So
that
that
doesn't
covers
look that
all the
bad.
content you'll encounter in Return of the Ancients. But what about some new tools to fight against these new pinnacles with? Well, we also have some new Ascendancy classes as well. But to introduce them, I'll hand you guys back to Mark.
As Jonathan said, we have 2 new classes to show you today.
Mark
the
has
Spirit
new
Walker
shoes
and the
again.
Martial Artist.
Okay.
Let's start with the Huntress's new class, the Spirit Walker. The Spirit Walker has developed an affinity with the Asmerian animal spirits. She is able to infuse the power of multiple spirits at her choosing.
Holy fuck.
On the bottom part of the class, you will find paths for each wisp you would like to commune with, be they primal,
Furry.
vivid, or wild. Each one can give you different abilities that align with the stag, owl, or bear. Each ability gives you a method to become possessed by wisps of that type, and a new ability when you spend them. The stag allows
Our
you to summon
affinity with
stampedes
beer.
when you attack. The owl grants boons in the form of their feathers, which adds extra projectiles and enhances the projectile speed of your next skill.
Holy fuck.
And the bear simply summons a giant bear companion to your side. The
Giant
bear will
bear.
maul, slam, leap, and do intimidating roars to debuff your enemies.
Look at what it did. It did literally
Now
nothing.
you can specialize more into each of these wisps, but if you
The
want to
character was
combine all 3
clearing
of
before
them,
it could
then
kill
a new
anything.
hidden power will be unlocked. The power of the Sacred Wisps. This node is free, and enhances the quality of all 3 of your spirit animals.
Oh.
Your bear will take some of the damage you take, and grant you life regeneration. Your stags will become more aggressive, leaping towards enemies. And your owl-empowered skills will leave a trail of soaring ground behind them. But that's not
Wow.
all. The Spirit
fuck?
Walker has other powers beyond wisps. Such as Idolatry, which can give you large bonuses for using idol socketables in your equipment.
Wow.
And this one, which is my absolute favorite. The Spirit Walker, having attuned herself with nature, can gain the ability to tame beast bosses, opening up a whole suite of very cool options for your build.
What?
Maybe you tame the mighty Silverfist in the jungle depths.
Wow.
Or
Gazzy's gonna
maybe
be
a
happy.
3-headed chimeral
A-
beast in
a-
the
a
chimeral
new-
wetlands.
A new minion? Ascendancy? Wow, that's
Or
actually kind
then
of insane.
there's a giant frozen owl beast, Rakar, the frozen talon. There's so many choices. You're going to
that's
have to
actually kind of
experiment a
insane.
bunch with this one. And
Boss
I'm very
versus boss
excited
battles,
to see what
yeah,
bosses
that's
you
pretty
all
cool.
choose to have as your trusted boss companion.
Wow. What?
Next up, we have the Monk's new Ascendancy class, the
Remove tame
Martial
beast
Artist.
from all and add it on the
After
Ascendancy?
decades of
Well,
training, he has mastered 3 of the 7 hollow techniques. Channeling hollow form technique allows the martial artist to create illusions of himself, which then use a skill of your choosing. Perfect for turning skills with less area of effect
It's
into ones
Blade
that can
Flurry.
obliterate packs with ease. Should you find yourself overly vulnerable while channeling, you might want
Bros
to take
are
Way of the
farming.
Mountain,
What is this?
which causes you to be covered in stone when you immobilize enemies, mitigating large amounts of damage. This can even enhance your attacks too. By hardening your weapon in stone, you can deal even more
You may
damage.
play this one, because it looks like Cyclone at least.
After taking Hollow Focus technique, you can manifest your spiritual energy into objects. In this case, bells, which will appear around the martial artist and can be shattered by any of his attacks, even ones from the Hollow Form technique earlier. Hollow Resonance technique furthers that by adding a manifested bell to your back, which rings
Poor
each
guy
time you
Fez.
deal a critical
Yep.
strike, damaging all enemies around you. Through all the martial artist's thorough training, he has mastered the flow of internal spiritual energy too, and has engraved runic tattoos around his meridians. By doing this, he can gain the benefit of extra runes. Just open your inventory and add the runes.
What?
There is one that counts as a helmet, 2 as a body armor, 1 as gloves, and 1 as boots.
That's pretty cool.
Finally, your hands, the ultimate expression of a master of the martial arts. Taking Way of the Stone Fist will cause your gloves to become a new base type when equipped. Each modifier on the original pair of gloves has an equivalent, more powerful, and more impactful modifier.
What?
For example, these gloves add some physical damage, cold damage, lightning damage, some resistances, and life gain on hit. Now, when I equip these, they become literal fists of stone, and not only grant me a bunch more evasion and energy shield, they now also grant a lot more damage, some maximum resistances, and a significantly higher amount of life gained on hitting enemies.
What the fuck?
With all the different rune combinations you could do,
I don't know.
and the different modifiers on gloves,
Is that actually
there's
powerful,
a ton of
though?
different build options, and we're
I
looking
guess the
forward to
Maximus
seeing
is
what you
pretty
can come up
good.
with. Now, with so many new bosses in Return of the Ancients, of course we want to have a huge number of unique rewards. There are some pretty cool things
This
in
is
here,
busted.
so we wanted to show you a few of them. Twisted Empyrean is a two-handed mace made from the purest of Verisia,
Damage is extra is
combined with
always
the beast's
bonkers.
corruption. It converts all of your mace's skills fire damage to cold, and visually does so too, turning your volcanic fissures into glacial ones. This
That's
mace
cool.
also comes with its own built-in skill, Starborn Onslaught.
Thanks for the titty
Using
drop.
Glory, you can leap
no
backwards,
problem.
throwing your mace at the ground, creating Verisium fissures, before calling behind it a storm of cold metallic bolts from the stratosphere.
Do they hit anything though?
Next, we have Eventide Petals, an amulet that not only grants runic ward, but also comes with its own reservation skill,
Did you
Midnight
log in,
Zenith.
fish? Yep.
This skill causes your critical hits to grant
Oh,
Arctic petals
God.
that hover around you.
Okay,
Once
so
you have acquired enough of these
I
petals,
have
they will be
something
consumed,
terrible to say.
creating a floral ice crystal near an enemy. Then,
I forgot to-
destroy that crystal to do devastating cold damage to everything around it.
the body's not going to
Raven's
have
Flock is
any
a
of this
staff
audio.
perfect for minion characters. Not only does it grant spirit reservation efficiency and minion damage, it also allows your minions to inflict grueling madness on hit, slowing enemies and making all other slows on them more
Hey,
powerful
mister.
for maximum crowd control.
Hello, sir.
That's not where
Thank you
this
for the
item
raid.
shines though. It grants a skill called
Hello,
Spiraling
Schwartz.
Conspiracy. This skill
RF.
causes a flock of ravens to circle you,
It's
dealing
literally
damage over
RF.
time to anything near them.
Oh
Killing
no.
enemies, or just by standing near unique enemies, causes the flock to grow, getting larger and larger. For
Wait,
your
Pox
PoE
is
1
going to be
players,
pogging.
You can think of this just like a raven righteous fire. That's not all, however. These ravens are also minions, so they
Can't see
fully
shit 'cause of
scale
the
with minion
overlay?
damage
Uh-oh.
and come with their own command skill, Mad Flight. This command skill causes your flock to create a
Hey,
tunnel of
Schwartz.
deathly damage
Hey,
between a
just
set of
available.
illusory mirrors, obliterating anything in between.
Just barely. Huh. What's that overlay?
Horror's Flight is a pair of gloves instilled with the purest of fear. Equipping
Mr.
these
Stop
causes your
just
enemies to
before
become
RF?
terrified of
Damn.
you. These gloves cause you to gain stacks of fear incarnate when you cull enemies. To aid in your culling, these gloves also come with the skill Crushing Fear. This is similar to the monk skill Killing Palm, except it deals chaos damage, and the amount of damage and area of effect scales drastically based on the power of the enemy.
That looks cool. The
As you
effect
use
looks
this,
awesome.
gain your stacks of Fear Incarnate, which increases your culling threshold, meaning enemies become easier and easier to cull, even to the point of being able to instantly kill some monsters from full life.
What? But that's actually
Sylvan's
buggy.
effigy is a scepter for those wanting to run companions.
Fuck.
It allows you to have any number of companions of different types,
You lost hope
instead
in
of
swords?
the normal restriction of
Uh-oh.
just one per type. But what makes this cool is the Asmerian wolf companion it comes with.
Eh?
This is a persistent minion that bites foes to maim them, leaps to cause bleeding, and even howls to buff nearby allies. Additionally, it comes with the command skill Eternal Hunt, which when used it will howl, calling on the spirits to manifest spectral wolves to ambush all foes around you.
Is it doing damage though?
Liminal Coil is a crazy wand. It allows you to apply as many curses as you please, but those curses will have no effect. What's the point then? 2 reasons. Firstly, your spells gain a bunch of extra physical and chaos damage for each curse on enemies.
Wow.
Secondly, is the skill it grants called Coiling Bolts. This skill is a projectile spell that fires coiling physical and chaos projectiles with every cast. What makes this skill truly special though, is that it will split and chain through every cursed enemy, causing
Wait.
an absolute ruckus. See for yourself.
Oh no, am I gonna
Periphery
have
is
to
a
play
unique
that?
bow,
Fuck.
which utilizes all the powers of the Asmerian spirits by dealing damage of all elements. And all
that looks
elements
dog
can
shit.
cause all ailments. The coolest thing about this bow, however, is the Asmerian Swarm skill. These are minions that are summoned when you kill enemies. They will pursue all nearby enemies, damaging
Wow,
them
it's-
and
it's
inflicting
a
a
bow
debuff on them that
SRS.
boosts your elemental damage even further. Watch as you mow enemies down, and the swarms of Asmerian wisps aid you, melting enemies one screen at a time.
That was cool though. But oh, actually,
The
you can upgrade
Ordained
it.
is a new spear, mastering in physical and lightning damage, with high critical strike chance too. This spear allows you to leech life not only from physical damage, but lightning too. It also creates a fragment of divinity nearby
no.
periodically. What are those?
It's lightning spear.
Well, this spear has the skill Righteous Descent, which is an epic, divine leap, aided by angelic wings. If you use the skill when a fragment of divinity is nearby, it will become empowered, dealing significantly more damage, gaining massive area of effect, and bypassing its cooldown. When fighting a boss, let a bunch of the fragments spawn, and then just unleash your divine havoc, obliterating them.
Did I just see
Last,
60k?
but not least, we have a new unique jewel.
Ooh.
Voices. Voices is simple. It consumes 1 jewel
Looks
slot
so ass.
to add more. There are versions that add 2 jewel slots, 3 jewel slots, and for those who are
Voices.
absurdly lucky or rich, one with 4 jewel slots. Equip it, and notice the slots appear next to your character's portrait in the center.
Bro, that is so powerful. What
One of the things we are
fuck?
concerned about is how long it takes for experienced players to replay through the game in each new league. As we learned from Path of Exile 1, one of the things that can really help is having elements in the campaign that tell you where to go, if you know what to look for. We'll cover just one example per act for Acts 1 to 3, but there are many more than just these. For example, Hunting Grounds in Act 1 is a large, sparse
Campaign
area
deleted,
containing
please.
multiple entrances and landmark encounters. Here's an
Whoa.
example of some of the changes we've made here. Finding the ritual encounter in this area isn't too difficult. Now, after completing it, a trail of locusts will lead to the entrance to Freythorn. Just follow it and find the source of the evil.
Oh, you know what? That's actually
You might
helpful.
also find corpses of dead animals, killed and pecked at by the crowbell. You'll notice a trail of blood leading away from them.
Nobody
Follow
cares
the
about
trail,
the swords.
and it will lead
Where's my
directly to the
duelist?
boss.
Where is he?
We even put a signpost on the road to tell you which way to go to find Ogham Village.
No
In
way.
Act 2, in the Mastodon Badlands, you need to find the Lightless Caverns and track
Bro.
down the Abyssal.
Were people really
Now to
that
make this
lost?
quicker, in the level you'll find these cracks.
Oh my.
Just follow them, and it will
Actually,
take
you
you
know
right to
what?
their lair,
I
allowing you
think I
to
was also
find
pretty
and
lost
unlock
too.
the Well of Souls.
Never mind. I take that back.
In Act 3, the jungle areas have camps of
We got
explorers
street
to sell you
signs.
items. However, they are now even more useful. By talking to the explorers, they will point towards the next area. Not only that, but it will also reveal it on the minimap, so you can know exactly where to go.
Oh, you know what? That's
These
nice.
are just some examples.
Because-
we plan to do more and more of these over time in order to streamline the experience.
Because those areas fucking suck balls.
Now, as this is an in-game expansion, it makes
These
sense that
mean
we would
shit.
work on Atlas QOL. We've
It's still
added a
better than
search
not
box
having
that
it.
updates live as you type. Have a specific map you want to run? Now
Ooh.
they will be much easier to find.
That's
if there
way
are multiple
better.
maps, hitting enter will move you from map to map.
Codex already got every
Now,
map layout.
making
We
a
already
character
do.
build in Path of Exile 2 can be pretty complex.
All layouts
And
and
instead of
combinations?
designing a
Well,
build yourself,
not everyone
many
uses
players
those
enjoy
things.
following online build guides. We have a
Ooh.
pretty awesome community that has built many tools over the years for designing builds, but we wanted to improve the experience of following them. So, we are introducing a new build guide system directly into the game client.
Oh,
Here's how
wow.
it works. Community creators who write build guides can now create a new file format, a build
POB just
file.
got obsolete. Oh my.
Once downloaded, the builds appear in the in-game client, and selecting one will show you everything you need to know to make that build.
Wow.
So you
Wait,
can
that's
see
insane.
all the passives you need to allocate, ascendancy points you need to take, skill gems you need to equip, and recommendations for all the support gems you need to use as well.
That's actually
For
really
items,
good.
the build designer can specify
UI can
which
be
units to
better,
use in each
but-
slot, or if needed, just add some notes to the item slot to say what kind of item you need.
You're kind of dreaming of something like
In
this?
fact, build creators
you,
can
mobile
add notes
Linux.
to just about any of these areas, allowing them to explain different trade-offs
China had
in
this for
context.
years. Wait,
or
did they?
just give more info about how these things should be
Oh
used.
my god. Is it being ported over
They
from
can
China?
also give level ranges to each element, allowing recommendations to change over time. Great for builds that need to respec after they reach a certain level. Now, all of this is written in a standardized build format that creators can use, and we imagine that a lot of community build tools will be updated to add support for this format. Now that we have trade
pretty
market
cool.
searching built into the in-game
Like colors
client,
barely
we have
visible. I was
added
thinking
the
that too.
ability to
They need
price
to make
check
it a bit
items
more
you can
bright.
find more easily. Control-Alt-clicking an item will now search for it on the trade market, showing you the current prices.
Okay,
For rare
that's
items, it's handy to exclude some mods. So we added the ability to enable and disable each mod so you can see what effect each one has on the price. Next up,
Good.
we're going to be talking about the new supporter packs for Return of the Ancients.
good. As soon as Tencent bought their
Today,
ass, they made
we're launching
Death
two new series of supporter
Log
packs. The Blood Reaver
and
and
in-game
Divinity
build.
packs.
Really?
Each tier contains the pack's full face value in points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions. As always, the microtransactions
Whoa.
in these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way. The Blood Reaver
Now
series
swords.
of supporter packs contains 6 exclusive microtransactions.
Where's the swords?
Let blood
Looks like
fuel
deep
your
lore.
bloodshed. The Exsanguinator weapon effect draws the blood of enemies you've slain and funnels it into your weapons. Turn the appearance of your endurance, frenzy, and power charges into orbiting globules of blood with the Blood Reaver charges. While your
Whoa.
charges are active, these blood orbs will grow in size when you absorb more blood from nearby enemies. There are options to have pure blood charges, or charges that still display which kind of charge they are at their core. A taste for blood doesn't negate a taste for style. The Elite Blood Reaver armor features crimson leathers and golden accents to set yourself apart from
Also, thank you,
uncivilized
third-party apps. We
leeches.
stole your idea.
It
and you're
also
now
features a back
obsolete.
attachment,
Whoa.
fashioned out of the wing
Nice.
of a colossal bat.
Eh?
Alongside every Blood Reaver is their trusted gargoyle pet. In true gargoyle fashion, they take the form of a stone statue when you are idle, leaping into action when you're on the move again. What good is immortality if you don't have a vast mansion to come home to at the end of the day? The Eternal Blood Reaver supporter pack contains the Blood Reaver Manor Hideout. This exquisite two-story estate features an organ,
That'll always be idle for
grand dining
Beyond.
table.
Oh my.
and cages for your visitors.
What is
You
it
can
beside-
alter the walls to create as many or few rooms as you like.
You'll be Dev's now crying. Oof.
Last but
Ooh.
not least, the Servant of the Manor, eternally bound to the Order of the Blood Reavers. This henchman will manage your store, so you can spend more time spilling blood.
Stop that. We won't disappoint you. But if we do, you've our permission to beat us most violently.
Most
The
violently.
Divinity Pack series also contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. Call on Divinity to aid you in eluding enemy hits with the Divinity
you.
dodge roll effect. As you sprint, actual divine lightning wings will form out of your back, leaving a
Oh my
trail of
God.
radiance as you engage or escape from combat.
Or trip and fall.
For situations that
you
are
got
too
hit.
dicey, call
wanna
on the
move, but-
gods above to send down the Storm of Divinity portal to create a safe passage for you to retreat through. Adorn yourself with the
Ooh.
Knight of Divinity armor set,
Yo, that
a
actually looks
highly
good.
revered attire only bestowed to those deemed worthy for the divine cause.
It looks like the brass
Equipping
set
the
from
Divine
Dark
Surge
Souls.
character effect empowers you with a storm of divine energy. Using skills causes the storm to burst from your character, spilling raw divinity into the area around you. The Arbiter of Divinity wings are the final piece remaining to emphasize the force divinity has over this realm. This ancient precursor machine was found locked away in a highly guarded vault. Its original purpose is unclear, but it has been altered to fuel your maps using the pure, everlasting divinity within the statue.
Ooh, but I'm broke
Pillars
as fuck.
surrounding represent how many portals you have left for your map. This map device also tracks your progress as you complete the new Origins of Divinity storyline, added this expansion.
Wow.
Additionally, all microtransactions from the supporter packs will be made available for use in Path of Exile 1. On release weekend, we will also be releasing the Return of the Ancients mystery box,
What the
which will
hell?
contain 2 armor sets, a set of map devices for your
Tentacles.
in-game adventures, a new tracking scroll
And
that
I had
records
to
the
bank
amount of
real
currency
quick
you've
for
gained from the
alone.
currency exchange or your shop, and
no.
much more, like a set of finisher effects and affinity stashes.
Ooh.
That's not all, however. The Fragment Stash tab is finally coming to Path of Exile 2, and with it comes some tabception.
Thank God.
Inside this one tab, there's a tab for your various boss key fragments. There's also a tab for all your precursor tablets, with each type of tablet
Forbidden
getting 6
coochie.
tabs of storage. Finally, there's a tab for your Djinn barriers and inscribed ultimatums,
Thank
both of which
God.
get their own 6 tabs. That's a lot of tabs.
That's
So
a
that's
lot.
everything in 050. This is by far the biggest update we've ever made.
Since we bought that
For
on
PoE
PoE1, do we
or
get it in
2.
PoE2? I
in-game
100%
storylines,
I think so. There's no way they would
bosses,
do us that dirty, right?
Crafting systems, items, ascendancy classes, and so much more.
Bro, so
Now,
no
because
swords?
this update contains so much in-game content, we're doing significantly more testing than usual. For that to happen, we're taking a little longer than usual between the announcement and the release. 050 will be released in 3 weeks on May the 29th, with the patch notes being released on the Friday before that, on May 21st. But there's just one more thing to talk about.
You're having a
Now that the
meltdown,
endgame's up
no
to scratch,
swords.
we have to start talking about our plan for 1.0 release.
Still a shit
The
game.
feedback we've had during early
Wow.
access has been critical for making all the improvements that we'll be making to the game.
Critical.
At the same time, we had to create enough in-game content to make an RPG that can call itself a successor to Path of Exile 1. Well, with 050, we now believe we have reached that point. And so this is going to be the last full-size league during early access. That's right. The next big update is going to be 1.0.
Wow,
Now, normally
really?
we would do our next big content release in August, but in the run-up to full release, our plans take
After
a
the
little
stuff is
longer on this
missing,
one.
he speaks about
As
1.0.
big as 050 is,
That's a good
1.0
point.
is even bigger. So we'll be
We're
launching
missing
1.0
fucking
this year
daggers,
sometime
swords,
after ExileCon.
axes.
But that doesn't mean we won't be doing updates in the meantime. In this final phase, we have a lot of things to polish throughout the game and balance to improve. I'm sure there'll also be feedback about the new endgame that we need to incorporate too. The difference is that the focus is not going to be on adding more content like the previous updates, it's going to be on
We are
improving what
missing
we
the
already
game.
have. But we still want to encourage people to try out all the balance changes and improvements that we're making. So we're going to be running a few event leagues during this phase
Go
alongside
past
each update.
0.5.
Think remixes of existing mechanics or features. And speaking of ExileCon, Don't forget to pencil it in on the weekend of November the 7th in New Zealand. ExileCon is a gathering of our players, and a chance for us to showcase everything we'll be working on for both Path of Exile 1 and 2. And this one will be particularly important for us, since we finally get to unveil some of the coolest content that we've been working on for a while now with Act 5 and 6. Tickets for the in-person event are currently sold out, but don't worry, all
My
the
cat
announcements
needs
and
my
talks are going to be
Forza money.
streamed online for all of you to watch.